Hey guys, my name is Steven Anderson and I'm the middle school student ministry leader here at Grace. I just want to share with you guys something that's been encouraging to me in the last couple days. 4 years ago on September 29th, 2016 was the first ever Stories of His Glory event. And Stories of His Glory is a ministry that I started during my time at Corbin in Salem. It was a testimony sharing and equipping ministry centered around the idea that the glory of God is shown through testimonies. It just started as this idea, and God gave me this passion and excitement as a very young, inexperienced, immature freshman in college. And we had this idea for it, and so we decided to do this worship and testimony event to see what the response was going to be, to see if it was something that we could keep doing. And we met in this little amphitheater, and we ended up having 92 people show up, which was 91 people more than I thought was going to, because I knew that my roommate would be there, but that was about it. I'm going to show a video of that right here. Across you, me, draw me gently to my knees, and I am lost for words, so I'm lost in love, I am sweetly broken. So that was just an incredible night, and it's so encouraging to me, thinking back to all the ways that God used that ministry, that moving forward from there, we had events all throughout Salem community where we had hundreds of people come and be able to hear the gospel and hear these testimonies of how the glory of God has been shown in people's lives. We had testimony training workshops all around the world in different ways, and just had so many opportunities to be able to see the glory of God shown. So there's two things that I've been thinking about that I want to challenge you guys with. And the first one is this, that whenever God calls us to do something, He also empowers us to do that. When God called Abraham to leave everything and follow after him to this land that He was going to show him, God was also empowering him to do that. So whenever God is calling us to do something, He's also empowering us to do that. And the other thing is, when I look back at the time before Stories of His Glory was started, or even looking back to before I came up here at Grace, and I'm looking at next month, I'm going to be here at Grace for a year, and there are so many different things that God has used in my life in amazing ways that I had no idea what He was going to use them for in the future. From learning music and doing different gigs and jamming with buddies in dorm lobbies until way too late at night, and doing all these different things, to having the opportunity to start leading worship, to sharing the gospel with teammates on the back of the bus to away soccer games, to just simply the family that I grew up in. God had been using so many different opportunities and experiences in my life to equip me and prepare me for what He had lying ahead for me. And so I want to encourage you guys with this, that you may think that you don't have much to give. You may think that you're unprepared for an opportunity that you have. You may feel like you don't have the gifts or abilities to be able to make a really strong impact on the people around you. But I'm telling you this right now, that God has given you opportunities, experiences, spiritual gifts, just abilities, talents, all of those things. God has given you those uniquely to you because He wants to use you in incredible ways. God wants to use you to glorify Him, to serve Him, to love the people around you, to serve the people around you, to share the gospel. God wants to use you to change the world. And God has given you the gifts and abilities to equip you and prepare you for what He has in store for you. And so I want you to take just a moment and to consider what those things might be. What are those things that God has given you unique opportunities for that you can use to be able to glorify Him and serve the people around you? That may be something in the future, that may be something right now. How can you use those things to be able to glorify Him? Because if there's one thing that I've seen throughout my life, it's that God uses normal people. God uses just the willingness of normal people who have chosen to radically and sacrificially love and serve God with their whole heart, and He uses them to change the world. So I want you to consider how you can use the things that God has given you to be able to serve and love Him and serve the people around you. Let's go change the world.